So yeah, I struggled in it. If I'm gonna do it again, I'm gonna have to fly it for a little bit, like test flights or something, because I got my butt kicked. Got my new A9J. It wasn't, that was a 9J that got me? That's even worse. I almost need to do jumping jacks for that. But yeah, I assumed it was a AMRAAM or something, a radar missile. There's an F2 over there. Otherwise, I probably would have spent some of my flares, but you can see this thing only gets 25 flares, and then it gets 137 chaff, so that's why I usually queue that chaff up and then use that at long range. And you gotta remember to switch back when you get close, but I do recommend that. T58 for the, yeah, dude. I've watched, I think it was Jay. I watched Jay play that for a while. Yeah, that's a good US premium right there. Good pickup. So that's a couple of them there. Or no, that's Vet Gamer. Yeah, what's up, Vet? And yes, it did a little bit scare me. That's what I'm kind of getting at. I was surprised what it was. I was like, ooh. Looks like a loaded gun. And what's up, Ice? How you doing, Ice? Win again. Win again. Win again. Man, the last time I was on a sim map with... Oh, that was the F5. I take it back. I had to land twice. We were on... Was this map or one of the other ones? It's the sim map like this. At 11-0. That was just crazy. And I let it go. She was something beautiful. I don't know where this guy is, but he is close and I can't see him. Load it. Damn it, not again. Whew, we're having a rough morning here. The whole time I'm looking for that guy, he's down in the mountains. He didn't show up on radar once. You're the one. So good on him, good on him. You're the one who is a schizophrenic psycho. Let's go down just a little bit and see how the up and down tiers work. It does at long range, but if you're inside that, 10 kilometer, 10 mile range, it's not going to do much. Not in this game. IRL, they're pretty effective, but in this game, especially if you start getting into the upper tiered missiles, I use it at long range just so I'm not wasting flares, and that's usually on non-US vehicles. Pretty much every US vehicle comes with the same amount of chaff or flare, so I mean if you want more, rather you can adjust it, but I usually leave it in the middle. But like for instance, that Mirage, like you saw, has a ton more chaff. So I do use that more, and it does seem to help, but it takes a lot. You can't do it like flares where you're just, and then together, when you're using them together at close range, it can be effective, but by itself, yeah, especially against an IR missile, it's not going to really do shit, especially if you still got your afterburner on and you're spitting out chaff, nothing. And that happens to me sometimes, like it didn't this time, I think because I did switch back to my chaff and flare, but the way it works is, so if I hit my bind, it takes me to flare, and then I got to put it on chaff, but if I leave it on chaff, I just have to hit it once, and then it puts me back on both. So as long as I remember to hit it that one time, you know, when I start getting close, but a lot of times I forget, and somebody will shoot an IR missile at me, and I start, and I'm like, oh crap, that was just chaff, and it goes right up the tailpipe. It won't do nothing. But particularly, like you guys will notice, if you pay kind of close attention, I don't even usually chaff or flare at long range. I just kind of rely on the notch. But on the planes that I do have a lot of chaff, what I'm talking about, you know, at long range, once that RWR starts to quiet down and I feel like I have that missile notch, that's when I will, okay, chaff, 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 chaff a little bit more, and then go ahead and turn in and start being offensive. So at least that signature is still, if that missile tries to reacquire, at least something is still there before I make a heavy turn back in. And a lot of times that's when I'll try and remember to go ahead and turn the flares back on too. And then even further, master class is, you know, flying like this, and you've got to look at not only where your enemy is, but be watching where that missile's coming from, and you have to actually aim, you know, whatever, and you have to know your plane. Does it shoot the chaff straight down? Does it shoot the chaff flare out to the side? Does it shoot it, you know, some of them actually kind of shoot upwards a little bit. So you have to kind of know where they shoot, and then you have to literally aim those canisters at the seeker head of the missiles, and that's how you get the most effect out of them. And the easiest way to do that is being able to fly, you know, while looking at this MiG here. Select him with X. There, we highlighted him. Get the radar over to him. Try and pick him up. But the entire time we're trying to fly while staying in a notch. You know what I mean? It's complicated and it's tricky, but I can promise you that's how all the top guys are flying. Oh, those tutorial videos I would watch would drive me nuts because they're like, yeah, you just point the thing and then you do a little pull. I'm like, how are they doing that? Because I couldn't do it with my old keyboard. So that's why we're practicing it so heavily, because it's important. Oh, it keeps wanting to lock on the bots. He didn't see us, he turned away. Yes, he did. Come on, missile. Come on, missile. I had the lock still. Woo! What? How'd that guy get behind me? And how is those missiles? That was pretty high. Man. It's rough out there today, guys. I thought the ground mark started today. Am I wrong? If I have a lot of chaff and notch, I always shoot off a few to be sure. Yes, it definitely pays, especially at the upper tiers when those missiles can keep reacquiring you. Just leave a little bit before you turn in. Oh my God, my cap came off. Wow, how the hell did that happen? Array. Spect. What? What do you say? This was always like one of our pre-game songs before the football games. This song always makes me want to bang my head against the locker. Oh, let's go get him! Yeah! Oh my gosh. We all struggle. This was one of those days. Oh, it's one of those guys, huh? I just have to test my aim. Somebody just got a brand new F-18. Select. What's up, Chemical? How you doing, man? You can click on the link there. It's kind of like the dungeons or whatnot. It's really just an idle game. It's an idle game is a good way to put it. But you set your guy to do a certain task. He'll do that task repeatedly. You check in on him every now and then. And eventually, once you build up certain skills, then you can craft things and buy and sell with other people that are watching, you know, and get goop and all that kind of stuff and battle things. But the difference between that and like Tangia, one, it's completely free, and two, it's for you, your guy goes no matter what stream you're in. So if you go to the link and then you look at the scroll bar on the side, you'll see a deal that says streams. If you click on that, you'll see all the streams that have Microscape active. And as long as you're watching one of those streams that's live, your guy is gaining energy. And that energy is then what is used to do said task, like chopping wood or mining something or fighting chickens or fishing. There's all kinds of different things. And then you can click on the map and find the different tasks or areas that you want to see. So it's a little bit at first, but again, once you set your guy, you just kind of leave him and just check in on him every now and then. And it's nothing more than just something social for people that are watching other streams to find you, and likewise people that are playing it to find each other. And I've had it on there for a little bit. I just didn't have it activated properly so that the channel points and stuff are in there, but you guys will see that there are a couple of channel points that are added in there because of it. One of them is lurking and escaping. One of them is add an hour for everybody, and another one is add 6 hours for yourself. And then again, as long as you're watching somebody that's live, your guy is gaining energy, kind of like channel points. So yeah, it's something, again, kind of like dungeons, where, you know, just something else to do and check in on while you guys are watching. And likewise, you know, if somebody else stops streaming and somebody wants to keep their activity going, they can click on that streams and go, okay, who else is on? And there's usually another snail on there, and you just click on that. That's just another way for people to find the channel as well. So it's kind of interesting. I said I turned it on a few months ago, and I'll give your points back there, Thunder, for Ollie, since we did give him some treats. Um, and then again, I didn't have it quite set up right, so my guy had been mining for like 2 months straight. So my guy's a level 40 miner. So if you guys need any coins or bronze bars or gold bars, let me know and I can pass you guys some goop. So like that's something that's kind of cool. Once you get up in a high enough skill in a certain thing like crafting or cooking or mining or something, you can make things that you can then trade or sell to the one of the shops, you know, buy your suit of armor and all that kind of. It is a little bit interesting, but I guess it's kind of a pet project of another guy. There is access to the Discord, the Mindscape or Microscape Discord. You guys can find everything all the questions you can find in the guidebook and stuff as you check out each one of the deals there. Because again, it's a lot more than I can explain like quickly. But if you have any like in-depth questions, um, according to Knight, the gentleman that works on it, that made the game, is very active in the Discord. So if there's anything that issues that you have or questions or anything related to the game, follow up in the Discord, and I guess he's real active and he'll get right back to you and follow up. And um, I assume that that's true. So it does look like it has some potential. So we'll see. All right, let's keep going. Let's keep going. I can't believe this.